Hello guys, Survival Tech Nord here. Day 3 started off with repairing the trailer. There was no other way to get my gear down from that summit, or to continue the trip unless we did that. If you look closely, you'll see that the second running gear has been reinforced now. It also started to fail. It took a real beating coming down from the summit. With the trailer repaired, we knew that we could continue the trip, but we also knew that it probably wouldn't survive another summit. So we decided to cut the trip short, making a forced march, basically 2 days of hiking in one single day, so we could get as close to our starting point as possible before total failure. So I don't have more comms video to show you, but what I can show you is the gear loadout for the expedition. First up is food and water. I use the Jetboil Zip for food preparation. For water filtration, I'm using the Sawyer Mini. For water storage and collection, I use the Sawyer squeeze bottle system and an Nalgene bottle. Just food for thought, one thing I was missing on this trip was a portable hand pump to more easily pump water out of streams and rivers. Now, I've taken a lot of hits for using the Jetboil on this channel, but I suspect that flack comes from people who haven't spent that much time out in the field. You see, if you're already suffering from exposure, you don't want to screw around with trying to light a fire, chop wood, and things like that. The priority in that type of situation is getting warm and getting fed. Now, up until now, I've been using the Sawyer Mini, but I think it's time to replace the Sawyer Mini with this new modular filter called Oasis. What's special about the Oasis filter is that it filters out heavy metals as well as chemicals. Please check the description for the Kickstarter campaign. Other content creators will understand how difficult it is recording and editing video out in the field. Not to mention the additional weight and complexity of carrying all that gear out there. Anyway, what I did for this trip was piece together my own system based on parts that I've previously reviewed in other videos. I used the Chotec 19-watt solar panel to power the Anker Astro E6. Allowing my GoPro and other electronic devices to slave off of the Astro. I could even recharge my AA batteries. And assuming we have clear skies, I'll mount the solar panel on top of the trailer with shock cord so that I can charge as we go. It wasn't a perfect system, but it worked well for this trip. Next up, video and editing gear. Surprisingly, my video editing and recording gear is quite simple. In the field, everything is Android powered. Most of the time I'm capturing video with the GoPro. Occasionally I'll use the Samsung Galaxy S4 for recording, but primarily I use it for editing with an app called KineMaster Pro. I'm also using the Samsung Evo SD cards, which are extremely fast for full HD recording. Next up, we have communications gear. As usual, I took along the Yaesu FT817, but I also took the Z817 antenna tuner and a magnificent antenna that you've seen on my channel before, which is the Chameleon Hybrid Micro with the Mill Whip and Mill Extension. Now we can talk about my sleeping and shelter systems. My tent comes from a company called Milltech. It's nothing special, but it works well in summer, autumn, spring, and especially in the rainy seasons. My sleeping bag is Corinthian Fin Systems M05, current Finnish Army issue. It should be good down to -38 or more if you use a bivvy. So I think if it's good enough for the Finnish army in winter operations, it should be good enough for me. Couple of quick shoutouts. One to Slowfood Survivalist for recommending that sleeping bag in the first place, and the other to the MountainRN for helping me get my hygiene and first aid kit together for this trip. And that brings us to the end of the video. Like, share, subscribe, let people know what we're doing with this channel. And with that, I say rock and roll, and thanks for watching. Ciao.